Welcome back to this episode of Rad BMX Builds. On this episode, we're going to transform an 86 GT Performer that has 87 decals to the proper 86 decals. I'm going to show you how to remove the current decals that are on there and apply the brand new ones, giving this bike finally the finished look I've been looking for. Let's take a look at the bike now and the decals that we got. Right here is the 1986 GT Performer that I completely redid and had powder coated. However, at the time I could not find 86 decals and had 87 decals, so I went ahead and applied them. Then I found these, the 1986 decals all the way from Germany that are going to look absolutely awesome on this bike. Okay, before we get started, I needed to highlight this is a brand new powder coat and brand new decals. So they're probably going to come off much easier than if the bike had original 86 decals on it. When I got this bike, it did have the original 86 decals. When I brought it into powder coating, of course, those were removed, frame was stripped and powder coated. I put these decals on maybe a month ago, so they should come off real easy. And we're going to use just a blow dryer. I don't have a heat gun, so that's the next best thing. We're going to warm them up a tad, and then they should peel right off. And if they leave any residue behind, we'll just use some Gooby Gone, which I will link down in the underneath this video if you want to go buy some Gooby Gone. And some towels and other cleaning materials can all be found in the Amazon store, which I'll link below. But I just needed to disclose this may go much easier than your decals may come off. And if you do have a hard time getting decals off, no fret, just take your time, warm them up, peel as you go, and use some Gooby Gone, and it will eventually work itself out, and you'll be able to get that off. Maybe a little bit of vinegar. These are some tricks that will help you get these older decals off. But I'm just going to throw it out there that with a little bit of heat and a little bit of pulling, this decal and the others that are on it should come off no problem. So I'm going to put you on tripod, and we're going to start peeling these off. As expected, the down tube here decal just heated it up a little bit with a blow dryer, peeled right off. So I don't anticipate any problems getting the rest off, and it left basically no residue. However, before we apply the new decals, we will be cleaning the surface again. So let's get to it and get the rest of these decals off. There you have it, just as expected. Pretty simple removal, and all we did again is just heat them up with a blow dryer for about 30 to 45 seconds just to get a good start on it. Make sure you use that blow dryer all the way around the decal so as you peel it you don't have any issues. Don't overheat it. Don't get it way too hot to where it just starts to fall apart on you. That happened a little bit on one of the decals. It started just tearing into a million pieces instead of coming off in one big piece, which is most desirable. So 30 to 45 seconds on the decal as you move it around. Let's take a quick look how we did. So we'll start off with the seat post, nice and clean. I haven't even wiped it down yet. Then we got the decal down here, gone. The frame, beautiful, came out great. There we go. And the forks, nice and clean. All the way up to the bars, nice and clean. So, nice, pure white with pink accent. 86 GT, waiting for its new decals. And here's what's left of that pile after I've taken it all off. And the new ones are now getting ready to go on. But first, we need to prep that frame. If you like what you see so far, leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any other tips or tricks that you would have done differently. So let's get started and prep this frame so we can apply the 86 decals and see this thing when it's finished. All right, now that we have all of the decals removed, we're gonna wipe it down. So I got a cleaning solution here on a microfiber towel, and we're just gonna go over where all the decals were, make sure these areas are clear and free of any dirt, grease, or even decal residue, which I'm not going to have on this one, but if you were to remove some older decals, you may find that in those areas. So just simply wipe on these areas. Make sure that they're clean before you apply the new decals, but also, importantly, make sure that they're dry and clear of any residue before you apply any new decals to that area. So now that these areas are wiped down and are clean, I can go ahead and get the new decals and line up where they're supposed to go. Make sure that you don't just go off memory before you apply new decals. What you should do is go ahead and Google the GT catalog. In this case, you can find the 1986 GT catalog online and go look at the 1986 GT Performer and see precisely where these decals are located so you could replicate that when you install yours. Don't just guess and be completely off. Make sure you put the right decals in the right place to avoid any problems with having to try to relocate them, because if you were to do that, you're going to destroy the decal, or maybe you have to buy new decals altogether. So make sure you put them on right the first time so you don't have to ruin them and do it all over again. So let me get those new decals and we'll start putting those on. First one I have is the frame decal. It's the biggest. I like to put these on first so I can kind of visualize where things are going to go. And I'll line it up. And I always start with the right side first, and then I will use that as a template for the other side. Okay, now that we have all of the decals applied, we need to peel off the top layer of the decal, exposing the nice, vibrant, clear decal underneath. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for, the reveal of the final product. These stickers came from Germany. Took me about 3 to 4 weeks to get them, but well worth the wait. The quality is amazing. And I have to thank Michael Faulkner at Perfect Decals, and you can find him on Facebook, and he spells perfect, Perfekt Decals on Facebook. Great guy, pleasure to work with, good communication, great tracking, and an amazing product. Thank you, Michael, very much for making this build come to what it is now, but let's take a close look and see what the decals look like. So if you like this content, make sure you hit that thumbs up, and please subscribe to this channel to help keep it growing so I can make content for you weekly. And remember, stay rad.